This is Wahaca, and I thought it was only one of 2 chains in the UK that did Mexican food, but it turns out Chiquitos is still a thing, and there's 10 of them still left. Who knew? Anyway, this is one of 14. Nearly all of them are in London. This used to be one of my absolute favourite restaurants. Haven't been here for a very long time. So, as a wise food blogger once said, let's give it a go. So years ago, Wahaca used to be a favourite restaurant of mine, and in fact this one here, where I'm at Westfield today, something really important in my own personal history happened here. And just to be really unsatisfying, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it only happened a couple of seats over there, so it's a little bit freaky. But anyway, Wahaca, why did it used to be one of my favourites? Let me talk to you about Mexican food. So in terms of the food that I particularly enjoy, my top 1 or top 2 place has always been Mexican or Japanese. Like, I'm always very happy with either of those 2 cuisines, would happily eat them for every meal if I could. The challenge that you got in the UK with Mexican food is that when you come to a chain like this, and of course now we've only got Las Iguanas, I've probably butchered that, Wahaca, probably butchered that, and you used to have Chipotle. No, Chiquito, sorry, still have Chipotle is a different thing, we'll get into that. They don't really do kind of like classic Mexican, which is all you want to do is you want to turn up, you're going to have some tortilla chips, some salsas to start, then you want to kind of get into kind of like some fajita, maybe like some quesadillas, some burrito, all those sorts of things. They tend to do it more kind of like a fusion. That's what we've got here at Wahaca. They got some kind of tapas kind of thing going on, where they got some tacos. They got these small plates, which I kind of interpret as kind of like Mexican tapas, right? So we've got some tacos. Now I actually on the website when I was coming to see what the menu was like before I came here, I actually got free mushroom tacos. So I'm going to get them because they're free. Wouldn't normally have those. So we'll get into the price as we go, but kind of like, you can have some tortillas to start, which is always good when you have Mexican, but if you can get it with guacamole, which is £6.75. That's outrageous. You can get nachos, which are $10.95 or $11.95 for a veggie version. Oh no, $9.95 for a veggie version. I was going to say, how could the veggie version be more expensive? You can have some hummus, which is strange. That feels more like a procurement-led decision than a cuisine-led decision. But the menu we've got, as I say, we're going to get the tacos, could have some quesadillas, they've got some other small things here. And then when it comes to the large plates, if you're not burritos, seem like that's the thing. They do like a rainbow bowl, which presumably is kind of like a lower carb burrito, slightly fresher. I quite like the idea of a rainbow bowl, but I do want to try the burrito because it's a benchmark classic, right? They do chef specialties as well, including like a sea bass for £23. One thing that is interesting, I think, if you're coming here with somebody else, they do discovery menus, and there's got some sort of like little kind of tacos and quesadilla and taquitos and some like veg with that. They do a veggie version. They do a Wahaca for one, which has got the tacos in it, and some sides and some dessert. But it's kind of menu quite limited, definitely fusion. Only one kind of classic, what I would call the dish. I kind of want fajitas. That's on me, because obviously if I really want fajitas, I'll check the menu out first, right? Okay, so let's see where we get to. So the food's here, and to be honest with you, I'm a little bit anxious about these mushroom tacos. I think because they were free, I was like, I'll try and do something I wouldn't normally do, just to kind of broaden things out a bit. But they are looking complicated. But let's. Ugh. Let's give it a go. Okay, that's on me. It's actually genuinely good. Like, I never would have chosen that. Lots of flavour. A real umami taste because of that mushroom. Assuming I've got that right. Got beetroot crisps on it, which is good. It's kind of fresh. Really well packed. Yeah, really surprisingly good. To the extent, let's keep going with that and see whether that was a one-off. you know, if I was a vegetarian, I'd be really happy with that. That's very thoughtful, like really, really nice, thoughtful vegetarian food. Really good. So I'm gonna save the other burrito for later. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the burrito. What we're gonna do is gonna cut it. I wouldn't normally do this. I normally just eat it from one end to the other. But I'm gonna cut it in half, and then we'll have a look at what the inner looks like. Right? Let's try these. Let's try these tortilla chips. They're really good. Like, they're not classic. They're not just a simple, you know, tortilla with salsa, which is what I'd like. Got a lot of sour cream in it. I don't like sour cream, should have asked them to take it off. But here we are. Yeah, let's just try that one. Actually, really good. Really interesting. Full of flavour. I'm really surprised. I actually thought this wasn't going to be very good. This is great. Let's have a look at this burrito. Okay, so yeah, the filling on this looking really full. Looks nice and tasty. Okay, let's give that a go. Okay, so let's try a little bit of this burrito, see what we think. Yeah, it's. Let's give that another go. Hold on. Yeah, it's okay. I think it's not like a classic burrito, right? So it hasn't got that kind of paprika flavour, that cumin flavour's not there. I've yet to find any chicken in it. It's tasty. The coleslaw's nice. The texture's nice. Like, it's interesting. It's sort of where the thesis is, and kind of like it's inspired by this Mexican stuff rather than it being like it's a Mexican restaurant. I'm gonna work my way through it, watch some YouTube, and I'll get back to you when it's done. So my preference is, if I'm doing a review at Westfield, is to go and do this bit in the food court. But it's 4 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, and if you're at all concerned about the financial of the Westfield's food court, do not be. It was absolutely rammed. The only place I could find to sit down was this Cafe Nero, which bizarrely is in a John Lewis now. But anyway, let's talk about Wahaca. I don't think you can call that a Mexican restaurant. I think because they are so far away from the classics, not only in terms of what they've got on the menu, but in terms of how they're doing it, it's like, yeah, you know what, they've taken some inspiration from it, and you can see on the website that that's the thing that they do, but they also claim to be a Mexican restaurant, and I think they are just not doing that. What I had was really good. Portions were incredibly generous. You certainly didn't need the burrito and the tacos like I did. Those tacos were free, and also I like to order a bit more if I'm doing a review, so I've got more of a feel for what's going on. Mushroom tacos were incredible. Like, I used to have some involvement years ago with a restaurant that sold vegan food into pubs and restaurants, and what we used to do with that offering, in terms of just absolutely loading it full of banging flavours, they have done that. It was full of flavour. It was fantastic. I obviously didn't try the vegetarian food there specifically, but I suspect if you're a vegetarian, they do a really good job looking after you there. The oddities on the burritos were, one, it kind of wasn't a classic burrito, like I really like Chipotle. If I'm just going out and having a burrito, it wasn't anything like that. It had the slaw in it, which gave it a very strange, give it a strange texture. Texture worked. It's not a classic texture. The chicken meat in a burrito, I'd always pack it full of breast meat. They were using thigh meat. No hating on thigh meat. Like, if I go to Nando's, my favourite is the chicken thighs, especially the Nando sauce. Delicious. But yeah, it wasn't Mexican, which means you can't really go, I'm going to go and get Mexican, I'm going to go to Wahaca because that's where I get good Mexican food. You're going to have to want to go to Wahaca, and I'm not sure how well that lands. All the ingredients were good. everything was full of flavour, like fantastic. A real negative point which is going to come through the scores is that where I was sitting, the bench seat I was sitting at was filthy. And I'm going to put some B-roll in here. If I hadn't been, it was a very good place to film because it was quiet and it wasn't overlooked. So I sat there. If I otherwise would have asked to have been moved. So they're going to lose a lot of points for the for kind of the ambience because of that. Really hard to score. Really hard. Now I've calculated it. The ambience, I think, just because that they shouldn't be singing anywhere there. It was not good. I'm gonna have to give that a 1. Like, I'll rationalise that so we know that I'm being fair. 3 is average. You're going to lose points or gain points depending on how far away from average you are. Really poor. Going to have to give that 1. The service, really hard. Again, 3 is average. Service was really friendly. The person who served me, they sort of made sure I understood what the menu looked like. I didn't need any help, but the people who were sitting next to me, they went through and they really helped them understand the menu. Lots of extra effort there, so I put that up. The service was really slow. Took a long time for my food to come out, long time for the table next to me to come out. Going to have to give it a 3. Would have given some points for the service. The tick was quite good. Taking on a point away for the speed. Food, really difficult. I think what they are doing is really good. It's really well executed. I think you can't call it Mexican food. It was really tasty. The burrito wasn't good, but that's sort of my choice. Do you know what it was? That burrito was more of a Buddha bowl that's wrapped in a tortilla, which is great. I mean, I like Buddha bowls, but I would have wanted a Buddha bowl. I'm gonna give the food a 4. Right? It is above average. Yeah, I'm gonna commit that to film. Let's give that a 4. The price. So the way that I'm going to do the price is because it's so subjective. I'm going to say, listen, if I'm at home and I want to go out and I'm working away from home and I want to go out and have something to eat, I want to basically get an entree and a Diet Coke for 20 quid. Right? That seems fine. Right? I don't feel I'm being price gouged, but I do feel like I've gone out, etc. So the price there came to £20 for my main and entree. The taco was £6, but I got that for free. But you wouldn't have needed it anyway. Like if you're just going out after work on your own, you wouldn't have needed that. So I'm going to give the price 3.5 because it was nothing. It was a little bit above average, but it wasn't anything special. That gives us the score today of Wahaca of 3.1. Well, thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.